Hello and welcome back. I hope you're doing really well. Thank you for the recent love and support on yesterday's video and the videos before. Really appreciating all of you guys liking and sharing those videos. They're doing fantastically, and I love spreading the information that we're putting out on this channel. Lots of stuff to cover again in today's video, so I'm just going to sort of jump straight into the market overview side of things as we are beginning to retrace ever so slightly. So if we look on the daily view of crypto bubbles for the sort of top 100 coins in the space, majority of things on a large pullback, they're coming back into that sort of discount region. We can see XLM is down 8% on the day, slowly been adding to my position in that project as I see it having big potential. XRP also down 7% as well, which is very interesting, 14.5% down on the week, another great buying opportunity. I can't seem to see Hedera at the moment. We see Engine here down 12% on the day, 17% on the week. So that's bled out quite thoroughly. Same with Rune down 12%. So these are some great buying opportunities that I'm looking to take advantage of. And you should obviously consider doing some more research into these projects. However, it's stuff that I've covered on the channel before and that I have holdings in. Hbar as well has obviously pulled back ever so slightly. I'm still averaging into that position, still buying up as much as I can throughout April, while I believe we've still got the chance. I've also said in many videos recently that April is the month of Hedera, in my personal opinion, and we'll see some fantastic gains, I think, towards the end of April, leading into May, particularly with the space developing at the rate it currently is. There is so much potential at the moment for the project, and obviously I want to be converting some more of that into HBARX. I'm still staking portions into Stader Labs. Like I said, I'm aiming for around 30% of my overall HBAR position to be put into Stader, especially for when we're going to see the capped launch ending very soon, something I'll be covering on later in this video. Talking about the general market overview as well, just have a quick look at two technical indicators that I've shown on the channel before. So CBBI.info, which is the confidence bull run index metric. So we can currently see we're at 35, so incredibly low in terms of confidence that we're at the peak. As I've shown before in previous videos, this metric seems to be fairly reliable at determining where the peak happens, where the CBBI metric spikes out at 99 or 100, as we can see here back in 2018 or the end of 2017 and the 2013 crashes that we saw. So we can see we're currently absolutely nowhere near the peak. However, Bitcoin is still holding that $40,000 level, which is very, very nice. Moving up to the upside in the coming sort of days, I think we'll see a reversal. Also on the fear and greed index, we're now back in the fear territory. Now, historically, as I said before, once we come into the fear territory, it's a fantastic time to buy, and it's a good time to sell when you're in the greed territory. It was a week or so ago when we were in the greed territory. Maybe slightly before, we can see here last week we were in the neutral zone. So this is a fantastic buying opportunity if you're in these markets for the long term, which personally I am, and maybe you should be considering too if you're investing in these markets, as they're quite volatile. But you know, history kind of tends to rhyme if it doesn't repeat itself, and the markets perform extremely well over the long term. Talking about that as well, just saw this kind of chart talking about Bitcoin in general. See, we mentioned Bitcoin a lot because it's one of the leading indicators, as it is the leading cryptocurrency. It's kind of the face of crypto in general. We can see here he's talking about an inverse head and shoulders with the descending neckline, clear pullback, and then we're going to start heading towards that $63,000 target. If we start getting to that range, we may see then a pullback in Bitcoin again as the Bitcoin dominance falls, rotation into Ethereum in particular, and then that altcoin season cycle begins. And that's when we're really going to see a lot of these positions that personally that I've taken, and maybe some of you have taken, begin to pay off in those blue chip altcoins. Can't stress that enough. Blue chip altcoins. You may be able to get a few 100% return on some of these meme coins, but it's not personally something that I do, as the volatility is far too high, and there's still a lot of potential in the blue chip projects like Hedera, XLM, Engine, Quant, Chainlink. You know, there are plenty in the top 50, if not the top 100 projects that have got room to go up multiple times, you know, 100, 200, 300% towards the upside. Talking about the macro news as well, some more really bullish news of the general sector. Bank of America, crypto could outperform bonds and stocks as inflation shock worsens. So we'll see a lot more economic news coming out of the US as well as the European region. We see inflation is still spiking quite heavily. I think there was some recent news from the Bank of England talking about how the UK economy almost ground to a halt in February. So that's in terms of the growth metric being terrible. Obviously, a lot of that is being worsened by inflationary fears and other things off the back of the pandemic we've seen, which is obviously still partially going on. Not only that as well, we can see more great information here. So a NASDAQ survey, 72% of financial advisors will be likely to invest their clients' money in crypto if a spot ETF was offered to the US. So there's been a lot of talk about spot ETFs being launched. I think we're probably somewhere in the region of weeks to months away from a spot ETF launching on the NASDAQ. I think it's completely inevitable at this point. And once we do see that spot ETF launch, obviously naturally that'll be backed by Bitcoin, a bit like you see the gold ETFs are backed by physical gold. If we have a spot ETF backed by physical Bitcoin, every time money is invested to purchase the ETF over on, say, the NASDAQ, the underlying fund that holds or runs the ETF effectively has to buy up more Bitcoin to back the ETF. So we'd see a massive demand spike for Bitcoin if that Bitcoin ETF does go ahead and does get released. Obviously, that's going to allow a lot more liquidity and capital to enter the markets, and we'll see another real big pump off the back of that. So it's great to sort of see them talking about it. Moving on to sort of Stader again and staking. As I've mentioned several times, if you guys have not seen the video talking about the staking rewards broken down and kind of simplified by me, check out my most recent videos on the channel. It's one of those. It's fairly informative in terms of breaking down how the percentages work and what's currently going on with the APY that you're seeing. A lot of people are concerned because it's sub 2%. We can see here now Stader have come out and said, get ready to stake uncapped. 𝗟𝗚𝗡𝗥𝗥𝗥𝗥𝗥 main launch, no caps, no limits, 12th of April at 2 p.m. UTC. For anyone that's in the GMT +1 time zone, that's 3 p.m. Tomorrow, which will be going live. This therefore means we're moving into phase 1 and out of the capped phase. What this means is currently in the capped phase, they are only giving 2,000 ℏ of emissions per epoch or per day. Once we move into phase 1, which happens tomorrow at 2 p.m. UTC, that jumps all the way from 2,000 ℏ to 300,000 ℏ per epoch being added to the APY or to the pool. I'll quickly touch on that on my spreadsheet. Something I just wanted to say again, I see these posts doing the rounds. I kind of lurk on the Hedera subreddit, seen a few of more of these questions. This is why I put out the video. APY is now 2% and I get locked in for 5 months. Will this be the standard? Just wanted to give a quick shout out to some people. I can see Mitch here. Thank you very much for sort of sharing the links to the video and trying to dispel a lot of that misinformation that's currently going around. 𝗟𝗜𝗡𝗏 as well, linked to the video, which is fantastic to see. And there's several other people on this Hedera subreddit which are sharing the video, which I really appreciate. Just wanted to take the time to shout you guys out. Thank you very much, Mitch and 𝗟𝗚𝗡𝗏. So talking about what's going to happen then. So the current total value locked on Hedera as of about 5 minutes ago of me recording this, just under 42 million ℏ is currently locked within that pool. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. UTC, we're going to move into phase 1 and the emission rate, like I said, is going to jump from 2,000 to 300,000 ℏ. What this means is the effective APY as of tomorrow, if the total value locked is to still say around 42 million by 2 p.m. UTC tomorrow, you're going to see the APY jump from a current percentage of 1.74% to 262% tomorrow. That is what's going to happen once this cap is lifted. Now, naturally, as more ℏ enters the market into that total value locked pool, the APY is going to decrease. I'm not going to cover it here because I did a very long video on it. That video will be linked in the description. And like I said, you can check it out on my other videos. But the key takeaway is tomorrow that cap is being lifted. The APY is going to jump to this monstrous number to begin with. If you're early, you're going to be able to take advantage of that number for maybe a day or two, or maybe even a week, depending on how quickly that total value locked rises. It pays to be early in terms of this pool, as you will receive a greater share of the rewards. Anyway, that's enough of that covering. Like I said, if you want to learn a bit more about that and how the mechanisms are working, I go through that spreadsheet in a lot of detail in my other video. Talking about Dovu, recently had some messages from Matt Smithies, obviously a really great guy. At Flying Gazelle is his handle over on Twitter. I think he's sort of one of the lead dev guys over at the Dovu project. Obviously covered that several times on the channel. Phase 3 of staking is now available. So if any of you guys did sign up and were waiting for early access, you may have been given early access, which will enable you to stake. Talking about staking, as I mentioned in my How to Buy Dovu video, that was obviously on the Binance Smart Chain. Unfortunately, on the Binance Smart Chain, you currently can't port those tokens via Hashport to the Hedera token service. You can only stake if you have them on the Ethereum network, as Hashport integrates with the Ethereum. to transfer them to HTS. Now, what I will be doing is I will be buying up some Dovu tokens on the Ethereum chain, and then doing a full video of how to buy via MetaMask on Ethereum and transfer via Hashport to a Venly wallet and then stake via the platform. So that video will be coming out in the next couple of days for you guys. If you have been interested in wanting to stake and you are willing to pay the Ethereum gas fees, now that's the big thing. I was looking last night. The Ethereum gas fees are still very high. They're at $30 for a transaction roughly, so it's a mega portion. You need to make sure that you're kind of offsetting that. The Dovu rewards currently are actually very high, and from initial conversations with Matt at the moment, I believe the emission rate is every 15 minutes, i.e. you receive rewards nearly every 15 minutes or so, or every 15 minutes additional Dovu tokens are put into the pool. That may increase over time. But at the moment, I think the rewards are fairly lucrative because it is quite a small pool and not many people have access currently. So I will be putting a video out on how to do that. In the meantime, there is a mega Dovu meme contest running with some fantastic rewards. So we can see here the prize is being 31,000 Dovu plus some merch. SourceSwap have also donated 10,000 source tokens, which is fantastic to see. Some NFTs as well from various Hedera artists, and much more. I think they're talking a lot about of the rewards on the Discord server. So the winners will be announced on the 15th of April at 6 p.m. EST. And to enter, you effectively have to create a Dovu meme. So we can see one here with a Dove bar of soap, which is brilliant. Retweet and follow Dovu official, and then follow some of the artists that are tagged beneath. So we can see the artists down here which are submitting some of these NFT projects. I urge you guys to give this a go. You may win some Dovu and source tokens, and it's a fantastic way to engage with the project. Like I said, videos coming on this very soon. Anyway, shorter video than usual. Like I said, I'll be covering tomorrow what happens with the APY over on Stader Labs, and we'll continue to monitor the total value locked on Stader. However, hopefully this has given you guys a bit more confidence in the platform and what is happening in general. The crypto markets are incredibly bullish. The crypto markets at the moment are looking fairly bearish. I'm still incredibly bullish, and I'm taking this as an opportunity to continue to average into my position. One of the last things I wanted to say to you guys is my channel is now available for memberships. That little sort of join button you may see. I may set up just one tier for memberships. It'd be nice if any of you guys are interested in participating in that. I think it's obviously like a monthly fee or something. Let me know in the description if you guys are interested and what you'd want to see from that. I want to make sure I provide value to you guys. I will not be setting anything up that's kind of just a way to grab cash. I want to make sure that you guys actually receive something in return. I was thinking potentially any trades that I make, or position changes to my portfolio that I will share early with the members if you decide to join. Give me some thoughts and give me some comments of your thoughts on that, as I'd like to hear. Anyway, make sure you like the video, make sure you're subscribed, follow me over on Twitter, nearly at 500 followers on Twitter, which is really nice to see, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Cheers.